So Lance is not a big Star Wars fan.
Okay.
But only because
Do you want to be?
I thought so. I've actually tried my whole life to be an anime fan and a Star Wars fan.
Okay.
I just can't do it. But I was telling him yesterday I started watching The Mandalorian because all the hype with Baby Yoda and all that stuff.
Sure.
And I'm totally hooked. And I had coffee with
Carl.
Carl.
Oh, really?
I'm on episode 4. Had I not started so late last night, I would have swept through the whole. I'm going to finish all of it by tomorrow because I know there's another episode.
Wow. Okay.
But I told Carl, I said if all of the Star Wars movies were like this, were like the Mandalorian, I would have been a fan a long time ago. For my taste.
Yeah. They hooked us in early, and then by piecemeal, it just made it terrible. But there have been factions at work that are slowly trying to bring it back to prestige, like your Jon Favreau's and your Dave Filoni, who's working on The Mandalorian. But Filoni did a lot of the work on the Clone Wars and Rebels. So if you watch those, like, you get a lot of backstory into Bo-Katan, the Mandalorians in general. So I would if you like that, then I would say go into the backstory.
Those are the animated ones, Lance.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask a really stupid question real quick. Was Boba Fett a Mandalorian?
Okay, so that is a layered question. Only because there's a fellow Mandalorian that says that Boba Fett was a fake Mandalorian, but it's clear to me that the narrative is that there are certain sects, and there's going to be if you watch the most recent episode, they kind of get into it that there are Mandalorians who don't particularly like other Mandalorians, right? And there's going to be this kind of claim of authenticity that might arise when other Mandalorians get together. So for one Mandalorian to say he wasn't, you can go by that. But by all accounts, if you wear the armor and no one's bothering you, you're probably
that's your license.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I know it's a hard question because right now you're only at episode 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just, this is the most I've ever been into it. I try to watch it and I try to get into it, but it was not wasn't my style.
How did you try to get into it? What was your interest?
I mean, I was telling Carl, I've watched every movie up until, why is Carl making that face? I've watched every movie up until the last one. The one that just came out.
Oh.
I tried watching, I think I watched a half an hour of it.
Well, you've seen every movie, but...
I've seen every movie, but it's not, it never connected with me. I couldn't tell you what happened. I know there was Darth Maul.
Okay.
So that one was kind of, there are parts that are cool, but I'm not let's go watch Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll say this, today when he was talking about, Lance was talking about how gritty and how dirty, things weren't shiny and new. It was like the movies were. They're even better than the movies. I said, have you ever seen the original 3? He's like, yeah, I've seen them. I'm like, because the Mandalorian, the look of it is, if I feel like they took it just from the movies, the look and feel of it is from 1, 2, and 3, it has that quality of things look aged, dirty, rusty.
Yeah.
They don't look clean, but it's but you're also referring to, Lance, the quality of how it's shot. So
the quality of how it's shot, and I up until episode 4, there hasn't really been a love story or that sense that something's coming up. And I like that. I feel like every Disney movie, right away, it's just this girl and this guy, they like each other. Now that's going to be a whole new thing I got to pay attention to. And this one's not that bad, I feel. I mean, I'm not that far into it, but I like that it took a while. I was telling Carl that I knew Baby Yoda was the big thing, but I like how they didn't just throw him out there and overuse him. He's only used the Force. I think he's only used the Force once so far from up until episode 4. And I like that. It's very, and he's cute. It's just the little things I can see Favreau, like I was talking with Carl, like how the Marvel,
Mhm.
they kind of Marvel, like a little bit of
Yeah.
funny, a little bit of cute, still
Mhm.
action. I wish
Yeah.
all of it was like that. I'd be into it more, or sooner.
Yeah. I think that's definitely Taika's influence as well, which is very evident in the last, I believe it's the last episode of the first season, with the two stormtroopers.
I was
Anyway,
I was telling him all
thing
about
is-
Sudeikis
yeah.
and
Adam, that's the one with Adam Polly, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I was telling Carl, I love Adam from. I mean, Sudeikis is from SNL and 30 Rock and stuff, but I love Adam Polly in a show called Happy Endings. And if you haven't seen it, or if anyone listening hasn't seen it, you should. It's now on Hulu. It was canceled after 3 seasons, but it's a hilarious show, I think. But anyways, yeah. So that's my background on Star Wars, and after this, I'm gonna finish season 1 for sure. It's so I couldn't wait. I waited all day to watch it.
Yeah. So
and I think that is just
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, if for the purpose of this, I keep telling Lance, I'm like, yeah, when we're talking about the debates that you and I have had, Harrison, in the past, because when we met, we were both lovers of Star Wars, and it was part of our bond, that immediate bond. We both love these things, and then and now, Lance, I'll tell you this. I used to watch movies without any additional receptors, or I just used to watch just to get what I could visually, and sometimes I wouldn't even listen. I just let it kind of wash over me, and then over time, Harrison kind of taught me would ask me questions about movies, like, why don't you think that this is wrong, and he would get me to scrutinize the writing, and then even go so far as to, why did they write this? And then when we went into acting and whatnot, then I was even more scrutinizing with movies. So over time, Star Wars has kind of taken on a different meaning, like altogether. And some of our opinions have sort of I don't know. Wait, I like to debate it with you, because I usually get really heated over debates about fucking everything. I mean, you name it, and I get really upset, and I judge you immediately on your answers, right? But you and I talking about Star Wars, I feel very safe, because we've already established our boundaries. We already know, and I really feel I really feel like this, Lance, that I would definitely be in the dark side if it was real. I know I would. And so, and with that said,
Okay, here we go.
One of our first debates that we had was about the Force. Now, earlier today, I had to ask Lance, what, with your limited knowledge of Star Wars, and I think everyone in the world, even if you've never seen a movie, you probably know what the Force is in this movie. So, Lance, what when you hear the Force, what does it mean to you? What do you think it is?
I told you. I think that it's like it's a superpower, or it's like the power that some people have within them. Is that that's what I said, right? Yeah, it's kind of like you have the power within you. Some people it's stronger than others, but even if you have it, you need someone to, or maybe you don't need someone, but you need to get it out of you. That makes sense. Like if you can have someone help you harness your power
like that.
Okay.
I know.
Like a mentor or a teacher. You know what I mean? Right. But some people are more gifted than others, is what I'm saying. But
okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's. I think that's what a lot of people would guess it to be. In the movies by Yoda and Ben Kenobi, they talk about this thing, how it it envelops everything. It's in every living thing. It's always around us. And yes, you just have to find a way to quiet your mind, listen to it, and it can guide you. Or yes, you can make things float.
See, that's that's all light side. That's what Yoda said. Empire.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But clearly, Sith Lords have access to the Force, and they're not. It's not. It's not what Yoda said.
No. Yeah.
It's not. Anything. It's selfish, right? It is like, I think it's kind of like what Lance said. You just need to get it out every day. That's probably what the Sith Lords do.
Right, but they still have to listen.
It builds up, and then
and somehow they have to manipulate it.
Who has to listen?
Don't Sith Lords have to listen to the Force? They have to feel it too. They got to figure it out and feel it.
Wait, so does everybody in this universe, in that universe, they all have the Force? Everybody?
From what I gather, anybody can use.
Okay. Negative. That is incorrect. I think what's being portrayed is that there are people who are sensitive to it. It doesn't matter about receptivity, right? It's about whether or not you can tap into what the comics will say, that once you've tapped, once you are considered sensitive, that your power is, so it could be unlimited, but you have to train. You have to be able to do that. But there's going to be people who are already overpowered, your Ray Palpatines and what.
Okay. Wait.
People who have some sort of, because of their birthright.
So question. So the way that I'm trying to understand this is, it's not, the Force isn't in you. It's like, I'm going way out of bounds here. It's like Superman gets power from the sun, and he is sensitive to doing that. Is that what you're saying? So the Force is like around, and some people can feed off that energy. Is that that kind of in the ballpark?
I believe that is the case. Now, I haven't played Fallen Order, so I don't know whether or not if there's a particular Force gauge and you can only use the amount of Force that's given to you. My understanding is that the Force is something that you can tap into, and it should be unlimited, but obviously the mechanics of the game can't require you to be levitating everything at all time, right?
Are we really going to use the game as canon?
Some sort of penalty. The game is canon, at least narratively. I don't know about the mechanics.
Yeah, but books are also canon too, until Disney decided to rewrite it.
Well, that all became legends. Once Disney bought it, everything going forward became canon. But they're slowly incorporating all the legend stuff.
Well,
so
Okay, so
don't even.
I was going to say. So the first time we had this conversation, you believe that the Force was something almost like a religious thing, where if you believe in yourself, right? If you believe in yourself, you can use it.
Yeah,
maybe even some maybe you can move a Q-tip, or maybe you can tickle somebody's neck hair with it, and that's the extent of it, right?
Carl, I still reach out and think that I can move something with the power of my mind, aka
I do that too.
Okay, so yes, I thought that Luke Skywalker, I was clearly myself onto him, wanting to be him, wanting to see it, right? But yes, you are ultimately correct. It is not everyone. As the story unfolds and how we understand the Force, Lucas puts in that stupid ass thing about midichlorians and how it's quantifiable. But I choose to believe, and I think many want to believe, that the Force is, at least for some people, something they can tap into, and it allows them powers that are beyond explanation.
Oh, see, that's new. And thanks for saying that too. I think they needed to quantify it just for to give the whole series some cohesiveness. He needed to. He needed to quantify it.
No, they needed to do it because it's an easy way to get through exposition. It's just like, oh, this guy is, it's the power level thing on Dragon Ball. If you can see someone in the power meter, it explodes, and like this guy's powerful, right? So it was their attempt at that.
Well, just like I've always said,
it's lazy, is what I would
say. No, just like I've always said, if you saw somebody in this world who fucking like moved shit with his hands and could tickle girls' nether regions just by doing this, right? You'd probably say, I want to learn that. Yeah. Is that a real thing? Can you show that to me? Can you feel it? Can you feel it when you touch them?
No, I see. I think where the real divisions are now is that yes, Force users are like magic, but clearly the Mandalorian is using technology and tactics to get his like they're warriors, but instead of leaning on the Force, they have like flamethrowers on their arms or little tiny missiles and a rocket on jetpacks, right? Like it's I feel like you're gonna fall into two camps. Either you're gonna be a Mandalorian and be like rock technology, or be like Gallagher, or
Gallagher
and smashing watermelons.
Yeah, because he's smashing water. Is that magic? I don't know.
That is the most random character to like enter into a star. I didn't think I'd hear the word Gallagher in this. I love Gallagher though, but
I was trying to think of a magician, but
no.
I can't
like David Copperfield or David Blaine. I think David Blaine, if anyone had the Force,
like David Blaine, right?
Yeah, David. He's got the Force. That guy is an alien.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I really feel like the also how he gets his powered up armor. It almost feels video game-ish, where like the better he does, the more he can acquire. Right?
Oh, speaking of, isn't it just stainless steel? Don't they mention that it's just stainless steel? Isn't it just stainless steel?
No.
Oh, okay. I could have swore when he was talking to Werner Herzog, he or someone mentioned something about stainless steel, and I was like, all that for stainless? I mean, maybe
it was a joke.
That world. Oh, okay. Maybe in that world, it's like not. It's very hard to get or something. Oh, okay, so Beskar is not stainless steel.
No, that shit's stronger than adamantium, yo.
Beskar is the.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to. Don't mix.
No, it's all under the Disney umbrella.
Wait, is that from Wakanda? Is that the Wakanda material?
No.
Or am I totally lost? Okay, never mind. I'm lost.
That's vibranium.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another
my fake metal.
Yeah.
I'm getting them mixed up. Sorry.
And apparently I think vibranium is probably the weakest. Not that I want to talk about Marvel now, but out of the three.
Is it? What's the other one that you mentioned? Just
if we're gonna mix, then it's like, Beskar.
You're gonna rank
them. What is it?
Adamantium, and then vibranium is the weakest out of the three.
What's adamantium?
Adamantium is what Wolverine's claws are fucking made out of. And his skeleton.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad we're really nerding out here.
Oh no, that's what Lance was expecting.
It is what I was expecting.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, we wanted to talk about, you know what? I don't even want to talk about Greedo, the Han shot first too, because I don't think there's anyone who. Oh man, what happened to me? Oh, there you go. So
real fans would say Han shot first.
Well, we got to set it up because I don't even know if Lance knows what we're talking about. So in the original, okay. So in the original movie, the first time we see Han Solo, he is with one of his, probably I would consider an arch nemesis at the time. He wants to take him in, and instead of this person who wants to take him in for a big bounty, Han gets the jump on him and cold cocks him and shoots him first before anything, right? And then, what year was it that the special editions came out, Harrison?
I think in the 90s, 90. Oh God, I don't remember what year exactly.
Well, Jurassic Park was 94.
In the 90s.
Yeah. So special edition comes out, and Lucas gets a hold of him, and he adds a few things to it, and he makes Greedo shoot first, right? Allowing Han to look like he's shooting in self-defense, thus fundamentally changing the character from scoundrel to somebody a little bit nicer who's just defending himself. And so the thing is, I don't think there's any debate amongst fans that that was a good choice. I think everyone will agree that, like, no, that was really, really stupid. Han shot first, right? I don't think anyone would agree. I don't think anyone would debate that, except Lance, who said earlier, like, yeah, but wouldn't that make him nice? That would make him nicer.
I thought he was a good guy. I thought he's
a good guy.
He's still a good guy.
Yeah, so why? I don't understand why it's a big deal if he's doing self-defense. It just makes him not a murderer, right?
Oh, there's a lot of murdering. There's a lot of murdering going on.
No, but I'm saying, like, so the original good guy walks into a bar, kills a guy, and then the remake, they're like, he walks into a bar, gets shot at, then kills a guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't understand why that's even such a big deal. But then again, I'm not. I guess that's why my question is why is that?
Can we do this exercise?
Huge.
Where Lance Han and all right, and let's say Lance, you have a bounty on your head, and I sit across from you, and all I'm thinking,
and it's so high. That bounty is so high.
It's very high. It's very high, right?
Okay, so I'm the guy. So I'm the guy at the bar that's going to get killed.
Well, you know you have a bounty on your head, and you know why I'm in there pointing the gun at you, right? So what are you going to do in that situation? Are you waiting for me to shoot first when I'm just as big a scoundrel as you are? It doesn't matter. I'm going to
shoot you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's what it was in the first movie. So why change it? Why change it from what I say is a neutral good to a lawful good? That doesn't. We already.
You know what? I think
we already were on his side.
I think I forgot that the guy was the guy that he murdered, cold blood. Was supposed to be a bad guy, right? He had a bounty on him.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that changes.
He was gonna take Han in. Right.
Yeah. So, but he just shot him instead. Okay, I guess that makes it different. That he just didn't shoot a random person enjoying a.
But guess what? Now fast forward 26 years, and Disney acquires Star Wars, and they add something yet again.
Yoda. No, not the Yoda.
What did they add?
McCluskey.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, McCluskey.
Oh,
McClunky.
McClunky. Yeah. So apparently George can tweak his movies until the day he freaking dies. And so if you watch the version that's on Disney Plus, they've added Greedo saying before he shoots, which gives Han like the added incentive because he knows like, oh, the game is up essentially. Shoot at this point.
Yeah.
So now they've made the shots almost simultaneous. So like even the version that we're watching is different than what they first released, which is different than the original theatrical release. It's stupid.
See, Lance.
Wait, there's three different versions of this.
Yeah, and the differences are so minute and subtle somebody like you who really doesn't follow it would just be like, I missed it. What different? But people like us are like, why the fuck are you changing it? So why are you changing it a little bit? We know what it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Are there any Star Wars
We're
fans,
supposed to
hardcore
accept-
Star Wars fans, that like it, that like that? But that's the tough thing, right? Because he
there
thinks
must
he's
be.
doing it for the fans. So it's like, is it like 50-50? Like half of them are like, man, I love the change. But it seems like all I hear is the hate online or in YouTube thumbnails. Like, why did he do this? Or South Park makes fun of what happened.
Sounds like they're just trying to make him nicer, more palpable, less of a scoundrel.
And the hardcore fans don't like
Yeah, more family friendly.
Yeah.
No. He's still a good guy. There's no reason to make him there's no reason to put him in that situation at all. We're already on his side. We are, we already believe. Well, at that point, we don't know that Han's a good guy yet, right? But that's kind of the point. Like Luke has to deal with
that you learn. You have to learn,
Mos Eisley, which is supposed to be the. Yeah, exactly. That Mos Eisley is supposed to be scum and villainy of the entire freaking planet, right? So
Alex,
we just don't know anything about. Yeah. And so just tip your hat in that one. It's silly. It's just really silly. There's no reason to do that.
Yeah, and I think now I personally, I mean, we've been talking about this for quite some time. I kind of like that because I recently have seen like a really old copy of Star Wars. Forgot where I saw it, but it's actually a little hard to watch because it looks so cheap. So maybe it's because I've gotten used to the special edition. So like in my head, I kind of dig everything that Lucas did for most of the choices, I would say, in the special edition. So I'm not even sure why it gets.
Yeah, I think so. I think for the most part, for the most part, they cleaned up the graphics. They, Lucas was able to bring in what he, really wanted. Like when you go into Cloud City, there are windows now that you can see what's going on outside. He wanted to make it feel much more open. So, those kinds of cosmetic things I can kind of go along with. But, it is because, we've invested so much time, money, our childhood. This is like if you weren't the strongest kid in class, you can be like, well, let me tell you about this story that I know, like this sense of nerdom and fandom, and then brotherhood amongst other people that fell in love with the same thing that you did. It's precious to us. And so, if Lucas decides to do something stupid, he's basically shitting on what we. I mean, we're acting all butthurt about it, but that's how important it is to us.
What are you most butthurt about?
About Star Wars? Oh, so many. I mean,
well, let's take the last three. Let's take the last three movies
out. Sequel.
Let's take the last three movies out.
Yeah. Oh,
we can't talk. Let's just
prior to the sequel.
Yeah. Trilogy? Just take those out because.
I mean, if we're prior, okay. Well, then it's the prequel trilogy, and it's the idea of here was Star Wars had ended in 1987, right? And word comes out Lucas is going to do the prequel trilogy, and can you imagine like word spreading out? And so all this time had passed, and we're going to finally see the origins of Anakin Skywalker turn into Darth.
Yes.
Your mind's just racing, and you're just thinking, this is going to be awesome. So when 1999 comes and we see the pile of shit that landed at our door that in 99, prior to Fandango online ticket sales, people had to wait in line to get these fucking tickets. That's infuriating to wait this long, to have that kind of anticipation. I watched that trailer like a bajillion times, analyzing frames, like all that shit. And to go and have it to be like there's a trade war, a blockade going on, and then Anakin's a kid, and it's like it's just weird. It's just weird, and Jar Jar Binks, who is like, I feel bad for the actor. Like he went through some tough mental times after the movie came out, but that character, yeah, he did. I think he contemplated suicide, actually. So I'm glad that he's back, and I think he's actually hosting that Jedi kids obstacle course show as a Jedi master. So I'm glad that he's
working.
Some love in the community. He's working. He's working,
and also embraced. It also embraced what almost drove him mad.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, and also now he's like in canon. I think his character is in canon, so like he's a Jedi master. Who knows if he survived Order 66? Your talk, I'm sure, but yeah, he's a Jedi, so more props to him. But goddamn, Jar Jar Binks, episode 1, 2, and 3 are heaping piles of poop that are only legitimated by what Filoni did in Clone Wars animated series. It gives a lot of backstory. It almost makes the whole story palatable. But
well, here for
the most part, it's
let me ask you this, because I think I feel a little bit differently about it, even though you know how much I love this whole series, but I know you and a bunch of other people out there feel like they were owed something with this new series. And in my head, I'm like, man, he put out a product that he thought was the best, and you guys consumed it. We all consumed it. I did. Yeah, and I wasn't incredibly happy with the worst fucking line ever. But
they re-added that in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the no? I don't get the reference. What's the no? Who said no?
So no is said by Anakin when he officially, dons the armor, and he's now like dubbed. I dubbed the Darth Vader, and then he asks the Emperor if Padme lived, and then the Emperor says, like, "Oh no, she died," or no, I think he said something like it was a little more passive,
like you killed her
enough in the Force or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you killed her or something like that.
Yeah,
and then there's this. Yeah.
And then he says, "What?
His
no, I couldn't have." And then
right. Yeah.
Okay, and then so why do you guys hate that? Because it's a corny. It's corny the way he did it, or
yeah, that's his first line, like official, really, like as Darth Vader, and
it's not cool.
Yeah,
it's not terrible. Cool. Hey Lance, let me ask you this. Lance, this is a trivia question. Which producer, director, writer almost had what's his name from Taken?
Liam Neeson.
Oh yeah, Liam Neeson. Almost had Liam Neeson quit acting altogether because of his experience with this director. What do you think that was?
He directed a Star Wars movie?
Yeah, he pretty much directed all of them. I mean,
George Lucas?
Yeah.
Why? Why? Because it was.
Yeah, that's correct.
Why?
George Lucas was such a terrible director.
Yes.
Like he changed his mind a lot, or was
Terrible
he like
director,
a tyrant?
One clip that I remember watching in the behind the scenes things, like he would just tell the actors like how to say a particular line. Not only that, like at the time, digital filmmaking been the first or one of the first digital films to be made, and so the green screens and whatnot, and I'm sure that probably frustrated Liam to no end in terms of like he's not acting with people, like he's just acting with little dots or something, right? So I'm sure that frustrated him, and I think just the whole process just made him feel like this. Like I think Ian McKellen did the same thing when he was acting in Lord of the Rings, and at one point he just like started crying because like this is what he was doing on stage was like it was not considered acting to him, right? So I almost feel like that's what Liam Neeson was doing. He had a moment of crisis on what he was doing with his life when he was this Qui-Gon Jinn, and the character who's like willing to let a child be separated from his mother. Not only that, slave mother.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I mean, the Jedi Order is already in this weird predicament in terms of like where their morals are, right? Because if he was, although he said he tried to get his mother freed as well, like he didn't really freaking care. He just wanted the kid. You know, he saw how many midichlorians this kid had.
I didn't know that. I actually I've never heard that story before.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, I'm not like a huge, obviously not a huge Star Wars fan, but I didn't know. Out of all the directors he's worked with, that's the one. I thought it was going to be some like I don't know. I just never thought of George Lucas like that. I thought it was going to be like a more hardcore, like a Christopher Nolan or something, or someone that's like a perfectionist.
Right. No, I think he is a perfectionist because they were actually touting that the technology with the technology they were using is that they could like actors what an actor did in one particular take and just overlay it from a different take, and so it gave Lucas a lot of control. But I think what that does is then take away any sense of like spontaneity in a scene, and I could only imagine like it would be very difficult for an actor.
I might be
feel like they're.
I might be butchering this, but didn't he say that the only thing wrong with making movies is the actors or something? Like he said, if he could,
it wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that Trey Parker or Matt, was it Trey Stone? Matt
Yeah.
Parker?
Yeah.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker?
Yeah.
Like they hate actors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why they're using puppets for like.
Yeah, exactly, for Team America. Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie still holds up.
But now let's chat about the last three, because you and I thought Lance Harrison and I thought like, okay, well this is it, right? We're gonna get a chance to redeem.
It's the same shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
because it's like the prequel trilogy. It's from 99, 02, 05, right? So from 05 till when did the Awakens comes out? When was that?
2000.
2019, right? I think it's 2015. That's when it came out. But so there's all these years.
You're right.
That we're waiting with bated breath whether or not Disney. We get word Disney buys Star Wars, so it's like, oh, we can only assume they're going to do something with it. And they do. They're going to announce a whole new prequel trilogy, right? So I'm thinking, okay, we know how Return of the Jedi ended. This is fertile ground for, seeing where Luke is, seeing where Leia is, seeing where Han is. Also, not only that, there were a ton of books that went with, after Return of the Jedi, right? So Disney already said, well, that's no longer canon, which is understandable because they want to forge it on that. But then, if the first line in Force Awakens is Luke Skywalker has vanished? What? Are you freaking kidding me? This is the character that I spent, the original trilogy with, the person I bonded with. Like, I want Luke to win, and you're telling me that he's not there in episode fucking 7? He's not there.
No, it's a mystery, Harrison.
Okay.
It's a mystery.
All right, fine.
It's a mystery.
Go with it.
Abrams was spinning a weave. It's a mystery. Let's find Luke. And let's meet some really interesting characters along the way. And then spin a few yarns.
Okay, all right, fine. So they introduce us to Rey, and then immediately, because of J.J. Abrams' love for goddamn mysteries, he doesn't want to answer a goddamn question at all. So her parentage is, a mystery. Her ability and her connection to the Force is a goddamn
which
mystery.
Is great.
But we're focused, and you know what? Why? Why is that great?
Because it allows...
Because she's a girl?
No. Because it allows for the next 2 films for other writers and other directors to explore that shit and to write some really cool stuff. Hey.
Thank you for setting that up. Thank you for setting
F you. F you.
Because it's clear. No, because the Force Awakens is clearly a retread. It's such a clear retread. We've got a planet-killing, instead of a moon-sized ship that destroys planets, now you've got a planet-sized thing that destroys systems. It's bigger. But then after 2 fucking shots,
it's spent.
It's worthless. It doesn't do anything anymore. You can't move a planet. So it's like, it's such a dumb, stupid.
You don't have to move a planet.
Lazy.
You can just, obviously it shoots them across the galaxy. Anyway.
Because it sucks the core of a sun to power the fucking weapon. So it was already in a binary system, and it was used once already, right? So it's like, okay, it can shoot one more time.
It was a poor choice.
But did it? No.
That was a poor choice. That's a poor choice. But the rest of it is great. It's like this.
So you
okay? I didn't love it, but it's more like this. So Abrams, who knows what the business aspect is, but Abrams built this car, right? He took the frame. He's just like, you know what? This fucking car is going to be fucking hot, and he built the frame, right? And he put a basic engine in it. And he's like, see this? And everyone's like, oh yeah, that's hot. Like, yeah, so it has all the basic stuff. All you need to do is just kind of fill it with all of the trim and the leather seats. You just need to fill it with stuff that makes it a real interesting ride for the next 2 films. And just go for it, because I know I'm not doing the next 2 films. So there it is. Have at it. Right? That's what he did. And it was there's this beautiful chariot that's waiting to be painted, for new rims to be put on, for Recaro seats to be put in. But I don't know what color Recaro seats. It's a mystery. I just know it's going to be really cool. And then Ray and John,
because it looks like a 1977 Corvette. I mean, it doesn't make any fucking sense. No one drives those things anymore except for sad dads.
I would.
Right? Let's not. What you're saying is that you think, you're a sad dad then. You're just proving my point. No one is going around except for Burt Reynolds. May he rest in peace in a goddamn 1977 Corvette anymore. All right, those days are long gone. All right, and to say that Abrams set up what he did is set up a poor foundation. If he thought that we wanted another 1977 fucking Corvette, we don't want that shit anymore. We want a Tesla with all the trimmings.
Well, no, they could have done a Tesla built on a Corvette frame. They could have done that. But Rian Johnson.
Right. Yeah. I think that's what he
Mandalorian is a Tesla. I think.
It's a
yes. I would totally agree with that.
It's a Tesla with a 1977 Corvette body.
Mandalorian?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, he's shiny. He looks cool.
Mandalorian's got a.
Wait. Oh, are you saying because it's gritty? Is that what you're saying?
It's a Western. It's like an Italian Western.
Clearly. But the car brand has got to be a DeLorean, don't you think?
Oh, I like that.
The Mandalorian.
I like DeLoreans.
That makes sense.
I like DeLoreans. That's
good. It would be an electric.
Actually, now that you mention it, it kind of does look like his outfit, and it's kind of like futuristic, but not made in the future. Yeah, kind of retro looking.
Yeah.
That's what someone needs to do. Actually, that's a fantastic idea.
Because the timeline for that.
Okay, so my point to this is
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
Even if Abrams, let's just say it was a piss poor job. Let's just say it was, for argument's sake. Let's just say it was. I said, let's just say it was.
Okay, fine. I don't know. Wait. No. Do you know him? Why are you protecting him? Why do you feel so?
Well, I like what he did.
It seems weird.
No, I like what he did.
Go ahead and call it out.
Bad.
It was bad. Oh my god. It's a retread.
Even if it was a retread, that doesn't mean it's bad. That doesn't mean it's bad. I still like Total Recall the second time around without fucking the Quaid tumor. Anyway, so I'm just saying, Rian Johnson compounded that by instead of just going along, and making something else, right? Or kind of building upon it. I mean, we were like, you could do anything in stories. Right? You could do anything. Okay. It looked as if he on purpose burnt it to the ground. Like and that's wrong.
Agreed.
I think that was wrong. And I don't know why young people love that movie so much. Fucking
wait, which one is this?
That's I don't even know the name of it. I did the one I hate. The second one I hate. The Last Jedi. Which Jan loves, by the way.
Is that the one where, and people listening are like, that's so sad. Is it the one where he's got the cross sword?
Well, he's had the cross sword in the first one. In that.
Oh, he did? Okay. Never mind. No. You know what I'm talking about, right?
When
I saw the trailer to that, I was like, oh, I got to see it.
Yeah.
I just saw that and I was like, oh, I'll watch it. I'll watch it because of that. And then, the rest is history. They do the politic thing. And I was like, anyways.
Oh, so you do agree? Like, you used to love what, or you? I mean, I don't think Rian Johnson should have poo-pooed on it completely.
Okay, so I am a Rian Johnson fan. I mean, if anyone's seen Knives Out, I mean, you gotta think that's a good movie. Anyway, I think what happened is that he saw what Abrams was trying to do, and you're right. I do think that he did try to do a complete 180, because clearly with Abrams trying to with Rey, with The Last Jedi, he was saying it doesn't matter. Right. And there's some sort of sense the idea that the Force can be so of the people for the people. There's something awesome about that. But then, it's clearly not the case. It's this return to form, with what was set up in The Force Awakens. Then yes, there was kind of like, well, with Rian Johnson, he clearly had an agenda going that route. But then the snapback in the last one, Rise of Skywalker. It's because there was no cohesive vision from the get-go. That's why we got these bullshit 3 movies.
Yeah,
that's how you feel, man.
No, that last one just felt like you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a standalone and like it just felt like, okay, if you're gonna disregard what I did in the first one, then I'm gonna totally disregard what you did in the second one, and I'm just gonna do my own thing and finish it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The whole Knights of Ren, Captain Phasma, Snoke, all of these things, like these elements, pointless. They had no weight. They were so stupid. Especially Captain Phasma, who
and she's supposed to be the most badass
in the most dumbest way in the second movie. The most badass, like the Chrome Trooper. Everyone was so excited, was that? Yeah, and it could deflect bolts. So it's like she had to been badass, right? A punk bitch, giving up, dropping the shields in the first movie, and in the second one, being unable to kill even one of her own former troopers. Ridiculous. And goes out like a chump. It's her life is sad. It's just sad. And they have they write a whole
Phasma?
book. Apparently the book is pretty good. But I don't care. Yeah, apparently it's pretty good. But I won't even read it because I know how it ends. And the way that she dies wouldn't justify like knowing what her past was. Because it's like basically she slipped on a banana peel and crushed her head. In my eyes, is how she died. And so why would I need to like redeem any part of that by knowing what her past was? It's dumb, stupid. I mean, all of this is really on the basis of what JJ started. The fact that he didn't want to answer any real questions. So I wasn't like, why?
Well,
that? And then he does the most idiotic thing is to bring Palpatine back.
I was about to say he had to, Malcolm. He did have to. I think that they were all, or he at first was under pressure to create this new world for the new generation, for young people, right? Because it's not just for the people that are our age, right? They wanted to get kids, get kids involved again.
Yeah,
right?
no,
so
sure.
The formula worked the first time.
We need let's check off that quotas. Let's have it be a girl. Let's get Finn, who's a black guy. Let's do it.
It's okay.
Let's bring everyone in. I get it. But she's a Mary Sue. She's a fucking Mary Sue. Okay. And if you do
you want to tell Lance what a Mary Sue is? What? Tell Lance what a Mary Sue is.
What's a Mary? I don't know.
For the sake of argument here. So it's kind of a quasi literary term for a female character that is just ordered to overcompensate for any sort of perceived weakness by the gender as a whole, right? So the fact that not only is Rey, not only is she like someone who's in touch with the Force, but it's just so overpowered, right? When the setup is actually that you had to be trained to get any real proficiency in it. But the fact that she can hold her own against Kylo and almost kill him, it's unfathomable.
Is it like Captain Marvel? Is it kind of like Captain Marvel?
There's no real payoff.
Where? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Mary Sue is
Captain Marvel.
It's not what I understand it to be. It's not necessarily. I don't know why we're saying it has to be a female, because I've known Mary Sue's just to be like this a perfect character, basically is what it is, like a flawless, perfect character, but it's not non-gender specific.
Sure, if you
So like Superman, is Superman a Mary Sue?
Oh, don't get me fucking started.
Well, I mean, you don't really call.
I'm just asking.
You
It's
call
like the dude
Superman
can do
a Mary Sue.
everything.
Yeah.
Yet he wants to punch. Like, dude, use your laser eyes, man. Why are you punching people? Okay, we're going off topic, but anyways, I was just questioning.
Hey, just watch The
He's very
Boys.
sick.
Just watch The Boys. That's what.
Okay.
I would say. I would say Mary Sue's are there to compensate for the historical, to try to make up for the historical portrayal of a minority character, right, or women, or whatever, right? So like I would find it patronizing. I wouldn't necessarily call it Mary Sue, because I think Mary Sue is defined for a woman. But like, let's say there's a movie that comes out, and there's a Westerner, but instead of the sheriff being white, he's. But not only is he just Asian, like he's the most deadliest shot in the
Right.
and like everyone loves him, and they're just like they're clearly overcompensating for something. And I would find that patronizing, not anything that's like someone that I would like ultimately cling on to or hold on to as a real symbol for us. So to me, the fact that they went that route is, I know it's necessary you want to expand the base, but like you can tell stories that are that show struggle, that show people that can overcome their flaws, and to not have. What was their only? I was watching the whole video thing, and the only thing that they can come to where Rey made a mistake is when she thinks she blows up the ship that held Chewie.
Yeah.
In Rise of Skywalker. Right. So like 3 movies, she doesn't make a mistake. Are you kidding me? Look at what Luke does. Luke is constantly making mistakes. Because he's trying to, like, when he goes on Dagobah,
save
Yoda, he leaves because he wants to help his friends. But where does that lead him? Yeah, exactly. So like, there was an error there, but he has to pay for it.
And he also whines
for her. So like this,
and he also whines to his uncle.
Development
Uncle Owen. Oh,
yeah.
This droid's got a bad motivator.
Yeah.
Which adds to his hero arc, though. It adds to his hero arc.
It's weird. Yeah. I'll be very interested to see if they actually do the Kenobi TV series. Like, how much does Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, like, how much they know everything into all this? Because they must know everything.
All the secrets. Well,
okay, that was a good explanation of Mary Sue, but I totally understand it, and when you said that, I totally got it. And to go off a little bit off topic, I don't know if this is a Mary Sue moment, but it really bothered me. And this has nothing to do with Star Wars, but this can be cut out if you want, Carl. But in the last Avengers movie, when, in the final battle scene, when they're in the final battle, and then all of a sudden, all of the women are by themselves. There's a whole battle going on. And they all get together in one area. And I was like, I mean, I get it. I'm all for it. But I was like, it's disrespectful. It's like, it's so corny. It's like everyone's battling. And then all the girls are going to come in one section. And I was like, it's unrealistic, which is crazy to say, because it's a freaking Marvel movie. Superhero movie. But like when that happened, I felt like it was not a perfect movie, but it was a very good movie. And it has like this stain in it, where they're like, oh, we gotta, stand up for women. And I'm like, dude, you have Captain Marvel, who is like, she is it. She alone, she's more than powerful enough. And I don't know if that's a Mary Sue moment, but I don't know. I needed to get that off my chest.
Mm-hmm. I agree. No, I think she's a Mary Sue character. She's very overpowered, and I agree with you. I completely think it's pandering. And I think that's but that was their intent. They wanted to do it, and so they did it. But yeah, I don't think it comes off as disingenuous.
I feel like in the movie theater when that happened.
So, yeah, it's
in the movie theater when that scene happened. All of us kind of went, and we sort of looked at each other, and be like, and all the other kids in the back are like,
well, I mean, if people were into it, then I guess I was like, they already did this. I was like, you know, the whole collection part. They did it in the beginning of the. All right, now we're talking about Marvel movies, but I was like, you don't have to have another like, let's get together within us getting together. Anyways, I went off topic. That's a whole nother thing. But anyways, Mary Sue. That was a good. I didn't know what you meant by Mary Sue.
See,
sorry, Carl, I hijacked it.
No, that's all right. That's Ray. But you know,
yeah, but that's Ray.
I don't know if people are looking at Ray that way, because I certainly didn't think of that until you mentioned it tonight. It's like I didn't think of her being as a Mary Sue, because she's still pretty weak until the second movie, right? She's fairly weak and dumb, and she's sad because she doesn't know what the fuck happened to her parents. She's still waiting for her parents, right? A little pathetic, you know, like her only friend is a droid, and she's just finding enough scrap metal for half rations. I think that's what it was, right? Rations of food, right? I don't know. Yeah. So I think they made her out to be more pathetic and sad
rations.
than anything. But yes, I don't think she did anything. Well, okay, hold on. Let's think about it. Didn't she trust? She did. She trusted what's his face, Adam Driver, when they were connecting. No.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean?
But that was because of Snoke. That wasn't because of what she was doing. Snoke said they were. You mean? Wait, I'm confused about what you're talking about, but in terms of their relationship.
I think I'm going to lose that one, so I'm just gonna bow out now.
Yeah, the whole Force dyad thing is very weird. I ended up watching this whole video about how bad this whole trilogy is, and I kind of agree with a lot of his character, because it wasn't completely fleshed out from Abrams' thing, and then he might have hinted that she was a Palpatine. Like, the payoff doesn't really hit hard at all. In fact, I think it just created a lot of groans. To have a character come back after X number of years, and we thought we moved past.
Hey,
they haven't. I would just say that.
Let me ask you this: do you think
earned.
If we watched this movie in 1982, do you think we would have been blown away?
Yeah, are you kidding me? We would have been so blown away.
No.
Are you saying if someone threw in
no. Let's take
and it went back to 1982.
Let's say this movie came out. Let's say it came out right after Jedi. Let's just say it did.
Okay? Wait, with the special effects?
No. Without
story.
Yeah, just the story. Just the story, and it used the special effects of its time. No.
Yeah, it's still shitty. What are you talking about? And I think not only that, I feel like people will be much more upfront about how much they hate it. I watch a girl? Are you kidding me? I think people would be much more like, okay, I'm not trying to hide behind the fact that a female lead, and I'm not saying I hate the female lead because she's a female. No, I'm saying I hate the lead, or I hate that character because it's. And I think they had in mind that we're gonna do this to just put a female character in the lead. So I think the motivations.
Wasn't that an issue with
whereas
wasn't
I
that
feel
an
like
issue
if
with
you do this back in '82,
John Boyega, right? Is that his name? The black stormtrooper. Yeah, I know this is different, but wasn't there a thing where he was even saying, he's like, you just put me in the movie to have essentially like to have a black guy in it. Because I remember when the trailer came out, you had Ren was like a female, and you're like, okay, she's gonna be something, and then John was in the movie, and I was like, whoa, like this is the new Star Wars. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thought that. We're like, wow, you're gonna have like two big characters, one's a minority, one's a woman, and then apparently it looked like John's character. I don't know, I didn't watch everything, but it looks like John's character is kind of like just not really there, right?
Well, I thought it was going to be bigger because there's in the trailers you see him holding the lightsaber about to fight Kylo. So it's like it was unclear whether or not who is the quote unquote like the new Jedi, and so I was excited to have the possibility of John Boyega become a Jedi. They never really fleshed out until the end, and it's kind of a throwaway. It's not earned as well, I think, in that situation. So it's just just poor execution. The motivations are fine. Just again, it's like it's pandering. It's just like it's lazy. They haven't thought it out, and they just thought they could just shove it down our throats and us just accept it. But I'm more interested about motivations and whether or not the story makes logistical sense. You can't just say like with Rey, it was like
so quickly,
especially with her ability to use the Force. In this video I watched, it made a very clear distinction about how much more powerful she is. The ability that she's able to heal monsters, right? With the use of the Force. Why can Obi-Wan do that with Qui-Gon? Like, why is she this powerful? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's
like, just given, not earned, not fair.
It's because I feel like the writers kind of like,
to me as an audience.
I can't remember what, it's not a Deus Ex Machina, but like they wrote it, and then they're like, ooh, we gotta do something with this.
I think
that kind of what it.
I honestly think they wrote it for millennials, and like, yeah, that's what millennials would want. They'd want to be able to use it right away. I know, I mean that. I think that they would want to, like, I want to use this right now, and I can use it.
Sure.
Just as well as somebody who's been using it and who had the discipline to use it for years. But I can use it right now. Let me use it. That
is a very millennial thing.
Yeah. But that so goes against everything that we learned in the original trilogy, and like there's a process to it. You have to be trained, or at least if you are going toward the light side, there is like this whole order that. Yes, there's problems with the order as a whole, and and I think even Luke kind of mentions that the Jedi was so powerful yet blind to see that the actual evil was coming from within, or like right under the nose, and they couldn't even see it. So yeah, you can make those kinds of arguments about what the Jedi was and actually were, but in terms of like training leads, we just never got that with Rey, and it just
I think that was by
like
design.
I said before, it's just
I do. I think that's how they wanted it to feel. They said.
I think it's kind of funny because I can imagine what you guys were saying earlier about like it is a business, right? And like they have to be like, okay, this is our core fans, these are the core hardcore guys, but they'll bring in a certain amount of money or business, but we have this whole world of people that are not like me, but like maybe me, but like are enough to go watch. Like I'm not gonna break down like when they say a certain word, it changes the whole story. It's just like, okay, like I'll go watch it, and
And
that's
yes, and that's why I ultimately think that I really think that Abrams was under the gun to produce something that appeased everyone, including the business side. And I think he's like, okay, well, this is the best that I got, given the criteria that I'm supposed to give. That's clear. That's why, yeah, all those boxes were checked and ticked. And he's like, well, fuck it, I'll just do what we did, 30 years ago, and just it'll appeal to everyone. And then I'll do the same thing in the end.
I bet they have to have meetings where it's
like
Abrams, his team, but like where they have like Star Wars, I don't know what the word, historians or something like that, where they're sitting at the table and they're like, hey, like we're thinking about doing this. And they're like, you can't do that. And then you have another side on the other table that's like like that. And they're like, no, you can do that. I can only imagine. Then he has to be like, I have to make a decision. You have the business that's saying we need to bring in $500 million, and the other guy's saying you can't do that because it doesn't stick to a 30 or 40-year-old story. What do you do? And it's a hard place to be. You can't please everybody, right?
I wonder how many of those people left the room just like, fuck it, I quit, and just like
probably, I mean,
threw their fake lightsaber and like flipped the table and just like, fuck it, I quit, man.
I'm sure there's a lot of arguments. It has to be because the stakes are too big. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of money, right?
What I heard is that Abrams did not really reach out to the story group for Rise of Skywalker. That he had certain things in mind, and that's why there's a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to the backstory with Poe Dameron. And so apparently there's, and I think they actually came out with like a comic, a book or a book to even try to rectify the inconsistency there. So like, yeah, but for Abrams not to go with what the story group knows already, that tells you like he already had a particular plan in mind of what he wanted to do. He wanted Palpatine. He wanted some, BS fight on a Star Destroyer. All of that just like there's no payoff in anything because he didn't build the story from the beginning. He just threw up something, hoped it would stick, and then when Rian Johnson did his thing, then it's like Abrams decided, well, Brian wanted and do what I initially thought I was going to end up doing.
Well, yeah, you can't come back. How do you come back from what Ryan did?
It's a mess. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to democratize the Force, and not only that, the Rebels are in a precarious situation. There's only like just that fleet left, right? No one answered the call. So if we did a time jump where the Rebels are working in shadow, trying to take down the First Order, I mean, the makings of something interesting there. But, I don't know, man. It's just, I feel like the sequel trilogy broke me. And thank God that Filoni and Favreau were working on The Mandalorian and the final the season of the Clone Wars because that stuff has actually like brought me back, and I'm much more excited. Maybe seeing Ahsoka Tano, especially live action. I think that would make me feel much more whole, considering that she had no mention in the live action stuff. So the fact that they're actually going to do it.
Well, like I've always said, just because if the first Star Wars was a delicious, amazing pop-up stand that served delicious specialty burritos made with oxtail, right? That's all they serve, right? And then year after year, the original chef decided to make a restaurant based on those tasty tacos, right? And everyone thought, well, you know what? This isn't as good as the first tacos, but I mean, I'll go back and I'll still eat them. They're tasty, but little strange. And then like 20 some odd years later, a chef says, I want to make an homage to those original chefs who made those delicious oxtail tacos back in the day. And it's fucking pork on ice cream, and there's onion powder on it, and you're like, this is what is this? There's a pubic hair in it. Yeah. That's part of the recipe. There's pubes in it. Yeah, there's supposed to be pubes in it. That's how we wanted it. Remember, Harrison, you can always go back to the original restaurants whenever you want. It doesn't mean just because the last 3 restaurants fucking suck, it doesn't matter, because you can always go back and eat those delicious oxtail tacos that you fell in love with.
Look, if I could recreate the moment of watching Star Wars for the first time again, of course, all right? But I've already seen it. By this time, my palate has become much more sophisticated, much more refined. And instead of ordering and asking for the same shit over and over again, let's face it, give me something a little more, like, give me that aioli or whatever it is. Give me that sprinkle of shishito peppers or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Just give me something that can, I'm not, before I wasn't asking for a whole new thing outside of the Skywalker saga, right? I wanted to follow the adventures of Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, R2, C-3PO, right? I wanted to see where they were. Now I don't give a shit, That's how much it broke me. Like the next franchise move they want to do,
it would have to be
the Skywalkers all together.
Isn't that kind of what the Mandalorian is? I mean, I don't. Is it?
Yeah, it has to be, right?
Is it involved with that? So, I'm only so far.
There's a lot of head nods.
It's still in that shared universe of like, because once they get to know she's the linchpin in all this because she knew Obi-Wan. She knew.
Oh, Anakin. But you want it to be like completely.
So it'll be interesting to see like
non-related to any of this
on the opposite side of the universe or a totally different timeline before any of these people were ever born or mentioned, right? But Lance, like, there's a lot of nods to the original.
Absolutely.
Like in some of the in one of the bars in Tatooine. Actually, it's season 2. In season 2, you see a blaster mark on the wall where that infamous Greedo and Han Solo scene took place, right? So there are.
I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, there are head nods to the original to let us still understand that
it's connected.
It's still here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, is that season 1?
No, I think it's in season 1.
I will say, I can't get over how.
Anyway.
I was telling Carl 2 days ago when we were getting coffee. I said, to me, like Netflix and HBO, Netflix has like some series where I'm kind of like, I'll just have it on in the background, like the Netflix made series. But the HBO ones are written so well, and I'm like, I don't want to be on my phone, like Succession or Barry and all the other shows they've had in the past. And then yesterday when I turn on, I know that we're doing this, I turn on the Mandalorian, I watch it, and like, I don't touch my phone. I'm like, I'm sucked in, and I'm like, all right, it's already 12 o'clock. I got to make a decision. And am I watching another one? And I end up watching 3 episodes. It totally sucked me in. That's when I know I really like it, and I cannot wait to finish it.
All right.
Harrison, thank you for bringing a little bit of
Agreed.
A little bit of intelligence to this conversation.
Yeah, because usually there's not.
Well, I mean, to be like,
I can
I'm a
see
fan,
that.
guys.
I can see that.
I mean, and there's scrutiny there. Like, all I'd be talking.
Yeah. No, I'm a fan of the real.
You know,
You're a part of it now.
I honestly would just be talking about, like, hey, at least Lucas gave us some pretty fucking badass lightsaber battles, and we didn't even get that. We didn't even get that in the last 3. Like, that's one of the reasons why we're fans. We didn't get that.
Yeah.
We didn't get that.
I guess the throne room.
Hey, before I gotta get,
Okay.
I got a jet, but this was awesome. But before you go, hold on 1 second. I want you to say hi to your goddaughter, even if it's like this.
Mm-hmm.
No, that Lance Harrison.
Oh yes,
Harrison is the godfather.
Yeah, show me cat.
So
I want to see cat.
Yeah, and I haven't told my mom yet because it's not like a Catholic or Christian thing. It's like he'd be the godfather. Hold on.
It's very secular. Yeah. But I will. Yeah. On the day of her wedding, I will grant wishes.
Wait, she's gonna get married?
That's what I got. But yeah, on the day of her wedding, right? I have to grant wishes.
I didn't know Godfathers did that.
Right?
I didn't know. Hey, nice to meet you, man.
Oh, that's like.
He was telling me, he was like, he's always like, my friend knows so much about movies. I was like, yeah, I mean,
it was so much fun.
I don't know that much, but I like talking about movies, and I told him I want to talk about comedies so bad. Like I every time I talk to Carl, we end up talking about my favorite comedy, like Dumb and Dumber. To me, I can talk about Dumb and Dumber all day, or Chris Farley movies, like
sure.
Or old 80s movies, stuff like that.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I like or Chappelle stand-up comedies or anything like that. Dude, Chappelle was just on Rogan.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah.
I didn't watch it yet. I'm saving it until.
Yeah, I saw a clip.
Fully watch it, but. Yeah. But he said, he told me about all the times you guys have written and stuff.
Well, this is great, man. Yeah, we had some great times in Chicago.
Where are you now?
And yeah, we would watch movies and talk. I'm technically.
Oh, that's right. I thought you were in California for some reason, and then he told me earlier that you're in Texas. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'm in Allen, Texas, and then LA apparently is blowing up with coronavirus right now, and they're under a curfew. So
I knew you were a sci-fi or like a nerd about movies and stuff like that. When he showed me your text about Starship Troopers.
Yeah,
I was like, "What?" I was like, "What's going on?"
That
is a whole other level.
No,
I tried to find Casper Van Dien's Instagram though.
But I think that's actually where Verhoeven was working. No, I think that was Verhoeven's the director of. I think that's in his head. I think that's in his head.
Which one?
Because I just recently rewatched RoboCop.
Which RoboCop?
Is she sleeping?
Yeah, she just woke up.
Oh my god!
Which
the original one? The original one.
RoboCop is so dark. Oh my god!
Yeah, but
we're totally getting there.
A private police force.
That's what I keep thinking about. A privatized police force.
Oh, she's up.
I think we're getting there.
So
she does look like you.
Does she really?
She looks like you, but she also looks like Joy too. But she does look like you. Like
I would say so.
Yeah, she looks like you.
That's your godfather. That's your godfather Harrison right there.
Yeah, I see it.
Right there. See him? No. The one with the really big head.
Cute.
Sweetie.
Yeah, that's her. And Yeah, true to form. She gets really fucking ornery if she doesn't eat. Like she gets no, I'm serious. You know, you try and pull the food out of her mouth, and she looks at you like this. She's like, and then she screams like she's mad. She's terrible. Anyway, that's your godfather right there.
She's kind of looking around. She's like, oh, something's going on.
Oh, she loves TV and screens.
Maybe your future, anyways. Oh, look at her.
That's all babies.
How old is she now? 2 months.
Oh my god.
All right. That's all. That's all. Again, thanks, Harrison. Appreciate it. This was great.
We got to do it again. We got to do it again.
He initially.
Oh no.
Lance initially wanted to talk Marvel,
but I'm happy to entertain.
We would rather talk Star Wars, but in hindsight, we could probably keep up better with Marvel.
Well, I mean, I just watched them all. That's why. Yeah, whatever. I know we can find a way to talk about whatever.
All right.
Anyways, thanks, Harrison. Yeah.
Wait, Lance, I have the question then. After our discussion, does this make you want to go into the Star Wars universe more at all, or are you just like, I'm just gonna do Mandalorian?
As of now, it's just Mandalorian. But I was telling Carl, I was like, if all the future movies and TV shows or whatever they do is filmed and it's easy, it's quasi easy to follow. I think that's one thing I like about Mandalorian is like I know who the hero is. I can follow the story. There's not like 3 different lines and they're gonna go to some not the judge. Where is it where they talk to all the people? What is that called? Like the parliament or whatever? Or their version of parliament where they're all like talking to all these people. I was like, I don't know what's going on. The Senate. Yeah, it's like when they do that, I'm just like, I don't know what's going
Senate,
on. This
the Galactic
one is
Senate. Yeah.
For a simpleton like me, it's easy to understand. He's the good guy. There's a lot of bad guys. Figure and protect the baby Yoda. Yeah. But as of now,
sure,
it's just Mandalorian. We'll see.
This is what I would say.
I would say if the Mandalorian hooks you and you need more content, go into the Clone Wars and Rebels.
I think that's too much. You should watch. You should watch Rogue. Did you see Rogue One?
Oh, is that the one that has Donald Glover in it?
No.
And is that? Oh, Rogue One
has Donnie Yen, and
I have not seen him in anything.
But I would only recommend Rogue One if you loved Star Wars, if you loved Episode 4. Like, there's no, like, it pays off a lot of the things that you know.
You don't know nothing.
You know, watching.
You don't know nothing about it. That's what makes it great, because I think Rogue One is also the best standalone as it is. Like, it gives a good backstory. It's, and probably
so I can watch Rogue One,
and probably the best interpretation of how
my list,
why we fucking love Darth Vader and how badass he could actually be.
Okay.
So, like my list to you would be, finish Mandalorian, but if you want backstory, watch episodes 4, 5, 6, which is Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Then watch Rogue One. Then watch Clone Wars and Rebels.
Never watched
the last 3 all into it.
Okay, but let me definitely
let
me finish Mandalorian, and then I'll come back to you guys, and you tell me the order, and if I have questions, then we'll go from there.
And Harris, let me ask you this: do you know or who would you recommend for if you're interested in coming back to this? Who would you recommend to talk about basically our Mount Rushmore of comedians? Yeah, I guess that's what I was. I guess that's where I was going with this.
Comedian? I'm not sure. Like,
yeah.
I mean, someone who's in the
or just somebody who's pretty funny.
That would make
a
lot of sense.
Somebody who's been moved, by the art itself, right?
You mean like a Bill Cosby victim, or you mean?
Call him anybody who's been fingered by Bill Cosby.
That's
hundreds.
Wait. So you want to get another comedian on to talk to us about comedy?
They're just.
I mean, I'm a comedy fan. I'm a comedy nerd. I mean, if you want to talk about like the Mount Rushmore of comedy, like you need someone who's actually doing it as a living, or at least attempting to.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think you have a great perspective on it.
I'll just tell you what I like.
We were like, I keep telling Lance, we were there when Hannibal was going up, right? Just with notes testing out his stuff, right?
What did you call him? Foamy or something, or foam?
Yeah. He would have little spits of like spit foam, like right here in the corner of his mouth.
And then one day he just blew up. Or you guys saw him on TV, and you're like, "What is he doing?"
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how. How is he?
He seems so. I can't even imagine. When Carl told me that story, I was like, it doesn't even seem fathomable because he seems so comfortable on TV, or like when he's talking, he just seems like he's kind of like not Chappelle level, but like kind of like it's not a big deal. I'm just going to talk to you like I talk to anybody else.
Man. He got there. He earned his confidence. I'm sure he took his lumps on the road, but like he just got to that level where he feels like he can just do it. And he's earned it. He wrote for 30 Rock and whatever, and so I think at this point, why wouldn't he go?
Dude, we do need to do it because we're already doing it now.
I gotta go, guys. Thank you again, Harrison.
All right, Harrison. Thank you, Harrison. See you soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.